Hola, bienvenidos to the tarot reading for the first week of March. If you are coming from my astrology forecast where I discuss all of the transits, then you know a little bit of the energy that we're walking into. But if you haven't watched that yet, go check it out. I highly recommend it, as the cards tend to very directly connect to the themes that we have spoken to, and they'll really add their own punctuation points to the themes ahead. So let's shuffle the deck. I invite you to take a few deep breaths, to ground, to enter into a space that feels calm and steady. Just put your hands on your belly and your feet on the earth, and I will shuffle the cards. We have the Four of Pentacles as the first card for this week of March the 1st through to the 7th. The Four of Pentacles shows us a king who is sitting right on top of their castle walls, defending and protecting all of their belongings and their assets. They are not looking at their kingdom, they are looking towards their castle. But there is an element of wariness here. There's an element of being shielded and unable to see the support that is all around them because they are so consumed in what it is that they want to hold on to. And I feel like what this card is saying is, don't be afraid to trust that reality and that the divine is taking care of you. Oftentimes we are growing up from places or situations that aren't always the most abundant, aren't always the most safe or secure. And this card is inviting you to explore what it would look like for you to trust that you are taken care of, to trust that you have resources around you. Maybe you don't have $1 million in your bank account, but do you have an income, a stream of income? Do you have the capacity to maybe start to save a little bit, to explore your relationship with money in a way where you reframe it from a place of, I just don't have money, to I am becoming a magnet for money? I know these exercises can sometimes seem really trivial, especially when you come from a background of growing up poor. I know I did, and I know that that's how it felt when I started to do it. But it starts with shifting our mentality in order for us to open up to life and to allow resources to come in. And this isn't to say that that is why we grew up in poor conditions, because we weren't energetically attuned. That's not it. It's to say that sometimes we are dealt a hand, and what we do with that hand will greatly impact not just who we are as a person, but our lives in turn. And even just beginning to shift your relationship to money and how you interact with it will start to heal something very critical within yourself, because that is really going to be the first step in a more secure reality. Sure, you can be Mr. Krabs and become a millionaire, but you're always paranoid about every penny, but you don't want to live like that. And there's just something here about really leaning into knowing that it is safe for you to trust that you will be taken care of, not just from a financial level either, but spiritually too, and physically, that if you can shift your belief system from I need to protect myself to knowing I am always safe, that is a dramatic reality shift in how you move through the world. That's carta número uno. We have El Diablo, and then we've got the Queen of Swords. So this is a moment to really liberate yourself from the shackles of the mind. Fear is a prison. Fear is the mind killer. And when I look at these three cards, it genuinely feels like an invitation to reframe our belief systems about our safety, about our abundance, and to move forward knowing that you are deserving just as much as the next person, that you are deserving not only of resources and shelter and food, but you are deserving of allowing yourself to explore what a more abundant reality looks like for yourself. Because until we challenge belief systems that tell us that we don't deserve money, or that we should always play small, or that money will never come to us, then we are going to be in a loop of struggling for something that we see other people get so easily. And again, this isn't to say that us not being where we want to be on a material level is our fault. By no means is that the message. It is to say we live in a world where it is built up to where certain people benefit and certain people don't. That is the unfortunate way in which a lot of these systems are set up. And these systems, rightfully so, are being challenged right now. And as these systems are being challenged and dying, it is now our turn to step up to the plate and say, I have always deserved to be financially free. I have always deserved to be able to live the life of my dreams and not have to worry about finances. It is my birthright to be able to be generous with my neighbors and with my family and with my friends, to not only uplift myself and my life, but to uplift others too in my abundance. And it starts with our energy. It really, really does. And I'm going to try to lay out these cards, but I will show them as well. And it starts with our capacity to liberate ourselves from our own mind shackles. And here's the kicker. We did not put these mind shackles on ourselves. They have been programmed in. To share a little bit about my childhood, I grew up hearing my parents at the dinner table stressing and arguing about bills and how we were going to make ends meet. And so as children, we absorb this information and we absorb the tension of that moment, and these emotions get trapped in our little bodies and we never release it and we never alchemize and transmute it. And then as adults, we're wondering, why can't I just be financially well off? Well, we need to release that. We need to alchemize it and reframe our relationship to money and finances. And, when you think about a rich person, who do you imagine? Do you imagine some white guy playing golf on a field, or do you imagine you, right? Like, these little exercises are so crazy when you think about it, because it's literally just like flipping a switch. You take this image and you're like, I didn't put that picture there, nor do I want it there. I'm going to replace it with my own. When you think about abundance, do you just think about a room filled with cash money? Or do you think about being in a community that makes you feel supported and lively and like you've got each other's backs? Because abundance and wealth, sure, it can mean a bank account. It can mean, having a car and a home, but it's also having community. It's also having people that you love and care about and that love and care about you. It is beyond just, these material riches. It is about the soul itself. And this week's reading really wants you to challenge what limitations you have running in your mind, in your physical body, and to move them out. Maybe go on a run, and as you're on this run, literally just imagine yourself being a magnet to more abundance, for doors opening. If you're stuck in traffic, start asking yourselves these questions. Who do I think of when I think of a rich person? How much money do I feel like I deserve to have in this lifetime? These are little exercises that you can start to use to untangle this web of knots that block our connection to our abundance. And abundance doesn't come from out there, by the way. It comes from within ourselves and our body. So that is this week's reading. I hope that it was helpful, and thank you so much for being here. I'm looking forward to expanding on this series. I think it's going to be really sweet. I love reading tarot, and I think this will allow me to create very clear containers for both astrology and the symbolism of the arcanas. So I will see you in the next one. Until then, cuídense.